So people are worried about AI taking over the world, but what I'm worried about is AI going wrong, and that's the much more common problem that I see. So I'm going to talk a bit about some times where I've seen AI go wrong and things I can do, recommend to sort it out. Number one, most common thing is trying to use machine learning where you don't have enough data. So you may be trying to make predictions or trying to build a model where you only have a fairly small amount of data, so say 100 or a couple of hundred observations. If you try and do this with sort of most machine learning algorithms, it's not going to work. So they're generally designed to work with lots of data, and the more data the better. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how much is enough? Do we have enough data? This is a difficult question. It depends on the size of the effect that you're trying to measure, and also how accurate you want your model to be. But as a rough rule of thumb, if you're trying to use neural nets or tree-based models with about 100 bits of data, it's not going to work. What sometimes ends up happening with this is people end up trawling through lots of different algorithms using some kind of auto ML type approach, and either they end up sort of horribly overfitting the data, and getting a slightly better than chance model just by random luck, or they'll just give up. You don't have to do that. So there's a few options you've got here. So I guess the first and most obvious one is to get more data. So if you can do that easily, do that before you go forward. The alternative, and I think often is a good idea, is just to use a much simpler model. So if you've got a small amount of data, use a simple model to try and understand if there are any strong relationships. Try and do some simple plots and charts, so things like scatter plots or box plots. And if you find any strong relationships, you can build a simple model from that, and then build from that point as you collect more. Jumping straight into sort of hard machine learning when you don't have much data is never going to work.